I'm at Carnforth Station, otherwise known as Milford Junction in the famous 1945 film Brief Encounter, starring Celia Johnson and Trevor Howard. There was a big clock right here. It's not there! Oh no, the clock's gone. Tragic, it's gone off for refurbishment. Now, when I look at this station here with its lovely sweeping curve around here, and a very long platform for all the holiday makers who used to come through Carnforth on their way to the seaside towns of Arnside and Grange over Sands. In fact, I used to catch the train through Carnforth when I went to school at Arnside, and I remember always used to stop here, and I used to think, oh, 2 more stops, and then I'm at school. Here's the refreshment room. Carnforth for your luggage, and stuff like that. Now the thing about this film is they never actually kissed. How can you have a love story without a kiss? What they did is they met here over cups of tea. And they would sit at these lovely old tables. Look at the chairs. They're from the olden days, aren't they? Or they would knock on the station master's office. Authentic chairs from the 1940s. Lovely old furniture. Ah, giant teapots. And then you'd get served a cup of tea here by the lady behind the counter. Look at that. Real old coins. Fantastic. Look at how you did it. 11pence. I love the sound. I wish Tills made that sound now, don't you? It's a Brief Encounter. Watch out for it when it turns up on the telly. It was on recently and it was really good. It's a lovely film. And as I say, they never actually kissed. What a love story without a kiss. Ah, what a great sign. Lancashire, the city of Lancaster, Silverdale. This is where I say thank you to Lancashire. What a lovely, gorgeous coast to cycle. Wild and windy and big skies and just lovely. So I've really enjoyed the people of Lancashire, and the one thing I've absolutely loved is Lancashire cheese, especially when it's crumbly. Now I'm in Cumbria, yay! And it's welcome to Arnside. I've got a little sign here, the Northern Cyclist. Wonder who that is. Anyway, on we go into Cumbria and around the great last bit of England. Underneath Arnside Knot is this farmhouse, and next to it, Arnside Tower. It's an ancient medieval guard tower against Scottish raids coming down into Morecambe Bay. And you look at it and go, ooh, look at the size of that. Good thing to have a go at sketching, so that's what I'm going to do today. So the thing is, you need to find somewhere to rest your paints, and an old dry stone wall will do. So I've had a little go with pen and ink, drawing, sketching Arnside Tower. It's a grey day in Cumbria, and this is where you would come to celebrate England Day. It was right here at Eamont Bridge, Brougham Castle, on Tuesday the 12th of July 927, when King Athelstan, yeah, there really was a King Athelstan, turned up here to meet the northern kings of the different provinces and agree on the Treaty of Eamont Bridge to form the Kingdom of England. And here's the bridge! Woo! So, was the castle here then? No, castle wasn't. That came in the 12th century. It doesn't matter. It's on this spot. King Athelstan formed England. Yeah! Now, the thing is, I love this castle. I love what it represents. It's a big powerful fortress to protect northern Cumbria from the marauding Scots. Now, when this was a formidable fortress, Robert de Clifford lived here, and he was the right-hand man of King Edward I, who came on a visit. Yeah, he came for tea in July 1300. Lovely. Right, Robert Clifford came to a grisly end at the Battle of Bannockburn. Whoops. But until that time, this was the biggest fortress in the north of England. Now, Joseph Turner came to Brougham Castle in 1809 on a sketching expedition. He painted and drew all the different castles around here, and he would do up to 20 to 25 miles a day. I reckon on one day he drew Penrith Castle, Brougham Castle and Lowther Castle, all in one single day. And his view of this looks like this. Now, that's a lovely view, but it's not the obvious view. I reckon he's probably just over there, where that van is now. Yeah, he probably stood there where that lorry is. That's where he stood to draw this. Of course, he could have done it from the bridge, except he couldn't, because the bridge wasn't built. It wasn't built for another 4 years. It was probably still going through planning permission. But anyway, that's the view I chose to do my view. So that's my view, standing on the bridge with a Turner sky and a bit of drama going on. That's Brougham Castle, right here. I'm an itsy bitsy, teeny weeny, soggy Timmy. But where exactly am I? Just on the edge of the Lake District is this, the Cathedral of the Lakes. It's Cartmel Priory, founded by one of my all-time medieval heroes, William Marshall, the greatest knight of the 12th century. Gorgeous building. Come on, we'll have a look inside. And here's a little clue right on the door. It's got his name on it. W.M. Yeah, all the way around. I reckon that could very well be William Marshall's initials all the way around the arch. What a great thing to do. Of all the priories in Britain, this one just jumps out to me. Cartmel, founded by William Marshall. Just such a hero of the 12th century, who put the money up for this wonderful building, which lasted for several hundred years until the dissolution of the monasteries, when sadly the monks were executed for treason. It's a shocking thing. But the priory survived mainly because it was also the parish church of the little village. And so they were able to keep it. And good job they did, because look at these beautiful Norman arches. That's original 12th century. And in here, this is their original little church. I know, so sweet. I love this. Just there in the window, stained glass of William Marshall. Something I absolutely love. Scallop shells. It's a place of pilgrimage. Brilliant. I find on this journey I've seen quite a lot of William Marshall. I've seen him in his castle where he was born at Hampstead Marshall in Berkshire. Of course, he's buried in Lincoln's Inn Field in London, and he spent much of his life in that brilliant castle at Pembroke. So he's been there on my journey all the way around the coast. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is impressive here. And I look at the size of this, and it's like a cathedral of the fells. That's what it feels like. Love it. I'm in Ulverston, one of the great comedy capitals of Britain, because it was here in June 1890 that Stan Laurel was born, of Laurel and Hardy fame. And together these two made over 100 fabulous black and white comedies, and they are absolutely joyous whenever we see them now. We love them. Stan was born here and went to America at the age of 22 with Charlie Chaplin and made a name for himself making movies. He'd done about 70 films before he met this fella, Oliver Hardy. Think of them these days as rather slow moving, but in fact that was a particular ploy of Stan's, to make sure that you left room for people to laugh. He'd even have a stopwatch in the back of the theatre, just checking to see how long people laughed before he did the next gag. Love it! So he worked hard at his comedy, and all he ever wanted to do all his life was to make people smile. That's a pretty good ambition, isn't it? And he did, till he died at the age of 74, and even now, today, whenever Laurel and Hardy comes on the telly, we smile, we laugh, we love them. Stan Laurel, God bless you. Rows of terraced houses in the little town of Ulverston, and on Argyle Street, number 3, a special place, because it was here that Stan Laurel was born. It's another fine house you've gotten me into. This is one of those marker points, the Bay cycleway that goes around Morecambe Bay for 80 odd miles from Lancaster, Morecambe and round to here, Barrow in Furness and Walney Island. Yep, I've cycled most of it, but it's funny because it's a big triumphant ending at 80 odd miles, and I've done 1,900 to get to here in just 2 months. I'm on day 52 of cycling, and I'm going to mark this little point by having a look for the famous seals. Yep, there's definitely seals there, but they're hiding. Did anybody ever ask you what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd like to be bigger, please. Beneath the tree is a tiny little shed. I call it tiny because it's right next to this enormous ruin of Furness Abbey. Wow, beautiful red sandstone. It's a startlingly massive structure. They did some restoration recently and discovered by accident a grave of a real live dead abbot from squillions of years ago. They knew he was an abbot because he had a gold ring on and he had a crozier with gold embellishment on it. Terribly exciting. At the time of the dissolution of the monasteries, this was the second wealthiest Cistercian abbey in England after Fountains Abbey in Yorkshire. We've had loads of monks here, and of course they campaigned bitterly against closure. Didn't succeed, of course. All the treasures were taken. Ruins are often grander than a finished building. There's something about the fact that they've been left to fall apart. Something mournful and slightly sad about it, but also something magnificent about the creation. Just reminding us that whatever we build in our lives, take care of it. It's important, whether that's a career or a relationship or even a great big abbey. But one of the things I love is that through the ages artists have been here, including my favourite, Joseph Turner. He would have stood here underneath these huge walls of the tower with his sketchbook in hand. On that day he would also have sketched at Peel Castle out on the island. No record remains of what finished work he did. It's just his sketchbook, and clearly he did do a finished piece. Can't find it. Have searched. Not to worry. I really like this place. I think it's an artist's dream. So I'm going to find my view and I'm going to show you what I think Turner would have painted.